Greetings. 2023 was a limit-breaking year. Unreal Engine 5 and new generation of graphics cards made games more demanding than ever before. Hogwarts Legacy, Forspoken, Redfall, The Lag of Us, Fort Slowest, Regret 2, Slowfield, Stutter Day 3, and finally, The Lag Survival. Developers strongly rely on the resolution upscalers, and that leads to poor performance on the budget cards. In this video, you'll see the current top of the hardest games for your PC. Principle of arrangement is fairly simple. We look at the weakest RTX card, the 3050, and we search how well it performs in games at native 1080p, lowest graphics, no ray tracing. Lower FPSs, the higher the game is on the list. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. Number 10. Starfield. The main Microsoft game of 2023 seems to be not for everyone. Stunning space views and advanced physics cost a lot of performance. We'll search how does it run on a 2022 entering level card. According to trustworthy YouTuber Karen Benchmarks, the game drops to 36 FPS in intensive locations. Starfield did get an update, but the performance on NVIDIA cards increased only by 10%, which however was enough for Starfield to go to 10th place from the 6th. Number 9. Plague Tale: Requiem. The only game from 2022 in my list, yet it is here for a reason. The sequel to Innocence has one of the most wonderful visuals the world has ever seen, and it's not even an Unreal Engine 5 title. According to respected YouTuber Crisp, Requiem continuously runs around 41 FPS on RTX 3050. At least this poor performance is justified by the great graphics, just like our next unlucky participant. Number 8. Alan Wake 2. Also known as You Won't Play This Game Because You Have a 10 Series GTX. Alan Wake 2 brought the mesh shaders to the masses. When it was released on Halloween 2023, everyone was shocked by the cruel system requirements, with upscalers kept in all of the layers, from minimum to 4K ray tracing. On the other hand, the game has stunning visuals with photorealistic lighting, which was perfectly explained in Digital Foundry's video. Crisp showed that using the lowest graphics on 3050, Alan Wake 2 goes down from 40 FPS, and the lowest settings doesn't look nearly as good as path tracing in Digital Foundry's showcase. Number 7. Star Wars Jedi: Survivor. In the sequel to Fallen Order, the mission of Cal Kestis goes on as a second game. Our Order 66 survivor will face various challenges in the galaxy far, far away, whereas your PC is going to have difficulties here, on Earth. The game had a few patches since then, so it's supposedly in the best condition right now. Well-known YouTuber, 54 FPS, approves that the survivor's frame rate stays low, near 39. Turns out that Respawn Entertainment doesn't always make things good. Number 6. Warhammer 40K: Dark Tide. Despite having its early access in 2022, the new Warhammer was fully released in the beginning of 2023. Players used to complain a lot about technical issues, and Dark Tide even drowned in negative reviews for almost a year. Fortunately, they're very positive right now. It's finally been called playable. Tester 54 FPS shows very poor frame rate around 38 on the RTX 3050. It means Warhammer 40K: Dark Tide still is a very tough game to run flawlessly. Number 5. Dead Space Remake. It surprises me a lot to see nobody mentioning how demanding this game actually is. Dead Space might be an excellent adaptation of the original game, as well as perfectly positioned survival horror at the same time, but only a small percentage of users can play it with high frame rate. According to Crisp, RTX 3050 cannot provide even 40 plus FPS all of the time, and it drops to 36 in intensive locations. Number 4. Remnant 2. Is anyone surprised? Just kidding. Remnant 2 is a stereotypical Unreal Engine 5 work, and the most defining game of 2023. The sequel to From the Ashes, Remnant 2 is very amusing and well designed. You might dive into it for dozens of hours alone or with your friends, but only if you all have high-end graphics cards. According to Crisp, RTX 3050 drops to 32 FPS in worst-case scenario. Remnant 2 is a successful game, and it's the good games that set trends. Unfortunately, Remnant 2 set a trend on demanding games and on the use of upscalers. Number 3. Immortals of Evium. Nobody is really talking about this game, and whenever someone does, it's definitely going to be about the technical side of the game. Immortals are so terribly optimized that it puts RTX 2080 as a minimum GPU. And yes, this is an UE5 game. What about 3050? Tester 54 FPS shows us the frame rate around 28. It is the first time for today that we see a drop from console like 30. Not acceptable by any means. Number 2. Fort Solis. A sad and unfortunate example of a 2023 failure. The developing team of about 10 people wanted to create an ambitious title using the Unreal Engine 5 simplified tools. Eventually, they just couldn't handle this project. Fort Solis completely destroyed all of the modern graphics cards, even 4090. Our acquainted tester 54 FPS shows a very discouraging performance. This is what happens when small teams load too much on themselves. Okay, we reached the sweet number 1 spot. But before we get to it, let's see some honorable mentions. And also you'll see why Fort Solis might actually be at the first place. First, Lords of the Fallen. An anticipated Unreal Engine 5 game, which received very cold reviews at launch. Turns out it relatively isn't that bad in terms of performance on modern cards. In my list, Lords of the Fallen with its 52 FPS would be place 15. Next, Callisto Protocol. The second and the last 2022 game mentioned today. Not a lot testing on YouTube, many of them showed drops to 50 FPS and worse. However, the average frame rate is higher. Ratchet & Clank. Another surprise, nobody talking how demanding this game is. It might not stutter, but the performance is unfairly low. Forspoken. You probably expected to see it in the main list, regarding how much hate it got at launch. However, comparing to other games later in 2023, Forspoken's performance is quite normal. With 46 FPS, it would be placed 12th. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. The game was released when I was editing this video. Looks like with 45 FPS, it would be at the 11th place. Ark Survival Ascended. I have no idea what to do and where to place this one, because every single tester got different results, from commendably high to catastrophic low. The only thing is beyond controversy, the technical side of the game is devastated. Are you ready? Number 1. Cities Skylines 2. Officially the most outrageous release of 2023. Developers say they could have delayed the game in this unpolished state for a year, but they didn't. As a result, dominant negative reviews and a lot of criticism. I didn't want to include Cities Skylines at first because this game is obviously broken. However, the developers say they reached their goals, so I finally decided to call this title the worst performing game ever existed so far. Every single card out there got problems running Cities Skylines 2, including 3050. Tester 54 FPS showed the frame rate drops to single-digit numbers sometimes, and it can stay below 20 in average. Thus far, it's not clear for whom the game was made. Everyone faced difficulties running Cities Skylines 2. I'm really eager to see that NASA computer the game was developed on. Maybe Colossal Order team got exactly what they deserved, releasing this unfinished title to public. With this in mind, Outlist has come to the end. We had so many unexpected moments, like Alan Wake 2 wasn't that high rank, and Forspoken didn't make it in the list at all. Some games you probably expected to see, like The Last of Us, Redfall, Gollum, Forza Motorsport, or Hogwarts Legacy, perform fast enough to avoid getting to my top. Many unpopular games didn't come up today because of the lack of testing. Demo versions and early accesses also weren't counted because they are unfinished yet. This video might cleared it out for you how our perception of games changed in just 1 year. We started with Forspoken and we were blown up with its performance, but at the end of the year we got at least 10 AAA games more demanding than this. Except now we are pretty much used to it. Nevertheless, even considering all the things I said today, there's no need to worry. Strong developers that know their audience continue to make well-optimized games. And I express my gratitude to you, viewer. Thanks for watching my videos till the end. That's it for today. Bye-bye.